3 days ago, July 15th, England led Argentina 1-0 in a World Cup semi-final in front of 68,239 people in Atlanta. Argentina scored twice in the final 10 minutes and won 2-1. This wasn't bad luck. It's a pattern that keeps happening the moment a team goes ahead. And it isn't really about anyone panicking. It's about one specific decision made by a coach in real time, under pressure. Here's the angle. The instant a team takes the lead, the entire job changes for their coach. Before the goal, every choice is about creating chances. After the goal, every choice becomes about protecting what's already there. That single switch from creating to protecting is what actually loses these matches. There's a real concept behind this, from behavioral economics. Loss aversion, described by researchers Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. People feel the pain of losing something roughly twice as strongly as the pleasure of gaining it. Coaches aren't exempt from that math. The moment there's a lead sitting on the board, decisions start bending toward not losing it, even when that's the riskier path. Think about what that actually looks like on a touchline. A winger gets told to track back further than before. A midfielder who was pushing forward gets told to sit. A substitution meant to add legs in defense arrives 10 minutes earlier than it would have if the score was still level. None of these choices look reckless in the moment. Every single one is defensible on its own, but stacked together, they quietly hand the other team more of the ball, more of the space, and more of the second half than they had before the goal even went in. Watch how this has played out before. 2018 World Cup semi-final, England against Croatia. Kieran Trippier scores a free kick in the 5th minute. England lead 1-0, the earliest goal in a World Cup semi-final in decades. From there, England sit deeper, give up the ball, and try to hold the edge they already have. Croatia take over the game for the rest of the 90 minutes. Ivan Perisic equalizes in the 68th minute. Mario Mandzukic wins it in extra time in the 109th. Final score, 2-1, Croatia. That's already a familiar shape. Now watch it at a completely different scale. 2005 Champions League final. AC Milan lead Liverpool 3-0 at halftime in a European final. 3 goals clear against one of the biggest clubs in the world. Milan's approach in the second half barely changes, built around holding what they already have instead of chasing a fourth. Liverpool score 3 goals in 6 minutes. 3-3. Liverpool win it on penalties. To this day, it's remembered as one of the greatest collapses in the sport's history. And it starts the exact same way every one of these stories starts. A team ahead, quietly shifting from attack to defense, far earlier than the scoreline actually required. Not panic, a decision. Made calmly and made wrong. Which brings us back to Wednesday. Both teams arrived at that semi-final already worn down. England had just survived a brutal quarter-final against Norway. Argentina had needed extra time to get past both Cape Verde and Switzerland earlier in the tournament, and had already pulled off one comeback of their own against Egypt. Neither side was fresh, but only one side, that night, had a lead to think about. England lead Argentina through Anthony Gordon in the 55th minute. And by most accounts of that match, manager Thomas Tuchel's approach turns notably more defensive not long after, well before the scoreline demanded it. Argentina keep doing what they were already doing. Pushing numbers forward, with Messi still probing for the smallest gap. Enzo Fernandez scores from distance in the 85th minute. Lautaro Martinez heads in the winner in the 92nd, both goals assisted by Messi. Final score, 2-1, Argentina. How many minutes did England actually hold that lead before it disappeared? 30. Comment the number if you already knew it. So why did Argentina actually win that match? Not because they wanted it more, because their decisions never had to change. Down a goal, their only job stayed exactly the same as it was before kickoff. Create something. England's job flipped the instant they scored, from creating to protecting. And that flip is what opened the exact gaps Argentina needed late on. Messi didn't have to force anything spectacular. He just kept doing the one job that never got harder for his side, while England's job got harder with every passing minute. Here's the flip most people miss watching this live. It looks like the team ahead is playing it safe, and the team behind is taking risks. Actually, it's the opposite kind of risk. The leading team is making the objectively riskier choice, sitting on a lead instead of adding to it. While the trailing team is doing the simplest, least risky thing in football, keep trying to score because they have nothing else to lose by doing it. That's the real trap. Not fear, not tactics gone wrong by accident. A quiet, rational-looking decision to protect instead of build, made by a coach who suddenly has something to lose for the first time in the match. And it's exactly the decision that keeps costing these teams the result they were already winning. Next time you watch a team score first, don't relax. Watch what their coach does in the next 5 minutes. That's when the real match actually starts.